Hi there, Michelle Marsden and Marsden Accountants. So today's prediction is around small business. There's a lot of small businesses and they keep the economy going big time in the UK. And it's encouraged and it has always been encouraged. Now, one of the things small businesses are going to be worried about is income tax rates because they may be increasing. Who knows? Somewhere along the line, we do have to pay for all of the help that we've had over the last year. Um, but I'm not sure that Rishi will do straight income tax increases just yet, especially not at the lower end. He might be thinking maybe in the 40% band and the 45% band, increasing those a little bit. But I think he'll probably leave the 20% band as it is for now, but it may not be for long. But yeah, so that's one of the things I'm thinking about. I think one of the big things actually is for most small businesses who took out the bounce back loans. That could be a big worry. Bounce back loans are coming up to a year that I think it was May they started last year. So a lot of people will be starting to think, hold on a sec, I'm going to start paying back this loan and I haven't really had any proper income for a year. The whole point was when you took out a bounce back loan was to bounce back, really, wasn't it? That's the whole point of it. But at the time, you see, we did think that maybe we'd only be in lockdown and, that for a few months. Hey ho, how wrong were we? So, yeah, I think there might be some movement on the bounce back loans. They were supposed to be closing at the 31st of March as well, 2021. I reckon that'd be extended another 2, maybe 3 months. End of June, maybe that seems about right. Um, so I think probably we'll be able to still apply for one if we haven't already, or top up to your £50,000, based on your turnover, of course. So watch out for that. So yeah, I think there might be a little bit of movement there in the actual how we can apply, and then there probably is going to be movement in when we're going to repay as well. Whether it'll be extended or whether it'll be spread over a longer period, I don't know. But 2.5% interest rate is still not too extreme. You'd think, well, those poor students are going to pay 6% for their repayment of student loans. So it's still not too extreme, but it depends really what income you've got coming in and what your predictions are for this summer. I reckon if you are a small business, you should be thinking about your cash flow for this summer, and how things take off and how you can think about paying things off, such as a bounce back loan. But yeah, that's one of my predictions really in the small businesses is income tax rates and bounce back loans. There's lots more, and there'll be maybe more assistance as well, because so far we've had quite a few grants. But if the lockdown is supposed to be finishing on in March, yeah, if the lockdown is supposed to be finishing, and what's the next step in the grants? So that's a whole different prediction, really. But I'm running out of days because Rishi's going to be out there soon, so I might as well crack on. So yeah, so the grants, we've had a load of grants, and the ones that when you get a grant because you've got business premises, they're okay normally because you're either open or you're closed. You either meet those criteria or you don't. The biggest problem has been in the voluntary, the discretionary grants, which have lots of different names. One was called discretionary, another one's called the ARG, and it gets very confusing for people. And there's been 3 different discretionary type grants so far. And the last one in Plymouth was well oversubscribed. So possibly because it was a larger amount that time, so more people applied for it. Whereas the one before Christmas, a lot of people didn't bother because it was only 900 quid. So they didn't bother because it's a lot of work to go and apply for these grants, for some people. Um, yeah, so that's why I think that there may be an extension of some sort of grant system in terms of for those who haven't got business premises. Um, but it probably would be the last. So I think there may be another one more tranche of it, but as I've said before, they are normally oversubscribed. And Plymouth City Council, like a lot of the other city councils across the country, decided to just give less but to more people, so that more people had something rather than everybody having the full amount. So yeah, so watch the space on business grants, but I suspect that will be one more round of them. But I think he's hoping that this will be the last round. It's getting very expensive, isn't it? So yeah, but somehow he has to keep the businesses going. And I've already mentioned my one about the self-employment income support scheme. So hopefully you did your tax return at the weekend, because otherwise you might have missed out on that one. But let's see. It'll all come clear. Well, it doesn't come clear when Rishi does his announcements anyway. They just talk about headlines when they do their announcements in the budget. What does come clear is all when you look on gov.uk. So there'll be lots more information coming out this week, and I look forward to trying to read it all for you. Not. But yeah, if you want to keep up to date with what's happening and what has happened, then please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. at www.marslands.co.uk/YouTube. And thanks for watching, everybody. It's been an absolute boon. When I first started this, I thought there's no way I'm going to come up with many predictions. I could have done this started this weeks ago, but anyway, once I start, can't stop me. See.